Da klokken blitt 1, og det onsdag 13. desember 2023, selveste Lucia-dagen. 13. desember klokken 13. I dag har jeg med meg en svært spesiell gjest. Min gode venn Daniel Schwenger fra Sveits, eller han egentlig tysk, men han bor i Sveits. Så han skal du få møte nå hvert øyeblikk, når vi skal fortelle om vårt møte med Joe Dispenza. Så it is my pleasure, Daniel, to welcome you onto this amazing stage we have here. Welcome.
Hello, Irina. Such a pleasure to be with you. Thanks for having me. Hey to everybody in Norway. It's my pleasure.
I love this. This is so amazing, and like how we can all get connected across borders, across countries, thanks to technology. And let's talk a little bit about technology today, Daniel, because that is one of your specialties. So before we continue, please, for those who haven't met you yet, take a moment to tell us about yourself, Daniel.
Hello, my name is Daniel. I am originally from digital marketing and from journalism. And so I have worked in social media a lot, and I always love to bring the two worlds together. So reaching out for your product, but also having a story to share and to broadcast it, right? And so therefore, two years ago, to say it with the words from Joe Dispenza, I stepped out into the nothing, and founded my own business. It's called Live Broadcasting Rocks, and helps people to be visible, especially with video.
Right, which we are now 2 examples of. So while we were preparing for this live stream today, I was like, I'm not really sure how this StreamYard stuff works. No problem when you have the StreamYard expert as a guest. So Daniel could help me out backstage. And that's also what we're going to talk about today, Daniel. So for those who are curious, this is being broadcasted to the Norwegian speech-likely audiences, both in Facebook, in our closed Facebook communities, and onto our YouTube channel. But it's also simultaneously being broadcasted to your channels, Daniel.
Yeah,
so for those who are curious, for those who just see you popping up in their feed.
Yes.
Where are we?
So we on my LinkedIn profile, I just thought that's fun because LinkedIn is an international audience. They will grasp the energy and the idea. They can take it, right? And then through my YouTube channel, I have a German YouTube channel and I have an English spoken YouTube channel. You find it Live Broadcasting Rocks. If you want to share or if you want to follow it, it's my pleasure too, because I'm also sharing something about Joe Dispenza there. So basically you can all see my direct videos that I did after some retreats, and sharing basically what I thought was worthwhile and relevant.
So as people must have understood by now, it was Joe Dispenza. Thanks to Joe Dispenza that brought the two of us together, that our world suddenly collided, Daniel. I remember the moment very vividly. It was in June of this year, only 6 months ago. So before we go there, please, Daniel, just tell me a little bit about how did you bump into to Dr. Joe, as all of us who are friends of him now call him? We just refer to him as Dr. Joe. What was your introduction to Joe Dispenza's world?
So my fantastic introduction came through my fantastic wife here in Geneva, Switzerland, who works in staff development for an international organization. And she had the privilege to welcome one of the early Joe Dispenza collaborators here. And he made basically a presentation about Dr. Joe and about what it takes to kind of change your energy, how you can also get into another energy level, and if you can measure it, what has meditation to do with it, everything that we are now, we think, oh, it's so easy, so we already heard of that, but it was in 2000 and I would say 2018, so 5 years ago. My wife came home from this presentation. Nobody was interested then. And so I think she was the only one with like the other leader of the division in the other organization. And she told me that was interesting. That was so interesting, fantastic. And so we first heard Dispenza. Okay. And then it took us like a little bit. So my wife and I are also in mindsets, coaching, and how to get into the programming, or how to change your programming. And we found actually everything that some people, some big gurus there are preaching is can be scientifically backed from Dr. Joe, how he explains it. And so it went very well together, like a zipper, I would say, where you have the two teeth that are blending in each other, and you think, okay, that's solid now. So that was basically the start. And I think in 2022, Dr. Joe came to an event here in Basel in Switzerland, like his biggest event that he always has, so where we also met this year. And so my wife said, hey, let's go there. So we went there, and ever since we got more involved in it. So I went to a retreat, like we went to the Cancun retreat that year.
So that's as you of course know, you knew this before the rest of the world knew that I was publishing the book in Norwegian, and it came out this week. That is also why we have this broadcast, to celebrate the publication of the book. And until this morning, because there's only been 5 copies that has been printed or been shipped so far. The rest has now arrived to the warehouse. But the very last copy that I still had with me this morning, I gave to my chiropractor when I visited him this morning. So I don't have any books left, but it will be more coming shortly. So of course I would have shown you the finished book here now, Daniel. But when I saw you in June, Mexico, in the retreat that Dr. Joe hosted this summer, because as an online entrepreneur, I can identify other online entrepreneurs just by seeing you. Of course, there were thousands of participants there as well, and of course several thousands more who was at this resort. So it was a lot of people, of course, but we had some really interesting conversations. And of course, when I then was privileged enough to have a sit-down interview with Dr. Joe in Basel now in November, there was only one person in the world that I wanted to call to help me with that, to pull that off. And I thought, I need to get hold of Daniel.
Oh, thank you. What an honor. Thanks, Irina.
So the podcast episode has not been aired yet. It will come on Sunday, the 17th. So just 4 more days. But I just wanted to take this opportunity to show our audience some behind the scenes photos. Would that be okay with you, Daniel?
Absolutely. Please. I'm thrilled.
So we can say this much, that this interview took place, maybe we shouldn't share the very specific location, but we can say it was in one of the finest hotels in all of Switzerland. Yes. And then probably one of the finest hotels in the world, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. A fantastic hotel.
It was an amazing hotel.
It's like like Switzerland has so many great hotels. So it's, but like this was definitely one of the best. And yeah, just also I think like to go there and to see it. Yes. So to meet the people around Dr. Joe in there and to see it, I think my first impression was when I came, because we all had to do this. I think it was a matter of hours. I had to free myself up, and I could only come in the morning, so I had to take the earliest train here from Western Switzerland, from Geneva to Basel, and so therefore I rushed into the hotel in a way. I didn't even took so much notice of the luxury and everything. But what was so cool was that basically, so you already saw the people around Dr. Joe, the team, and so you met, and so that was made it also easy to blend in.
Yeah, and for those who haven't really gotten the grasp of all this mentioning of Dr. Joe, so in this part, or in our parallel galaxy of this knowledge, where this all is taking place, Dr. Joe is like a super duper rock star. He is like Elvis of meditation. So if you are familiar with Dr. Joe, you would understand why he would also need, like, I wouldn't call him a bodyguard, but he definitely has an assistant making sure that people cannot approach him, or else he wouldn't be able to go anywhere by himself. Anyways, it was great to meet the staff, and also how, I would say, laid back they are. Like, they're very approachable, very gracious, very helpful. So the staff of Dr. Joe really impressed me. So I wanted to share this photo, Daniel. It will bring back, I will guess, some good memories. So let me see.
And
let's
just while so my microphone is okay, right? I was just wondering to get it. Good, fine.
Yeah. So I will start with this one, Daniel.
Amazing. Look, and this is also such a special moment. Thanks for sharing it, because I'm very respectful, and I know that, like, people who are having so much, are so well recognized, they also want to have the choice to say, shake the hand, and if they want to have their distance, it's absolutely understandable. But of course, I hope that, okay, so maybe I could say hello. And he was so approachable, and that is something that, again, sort of the biggest stars, you don't know that they are, so they don't have this kind of fancy attitude, oh, I'm the star or so. I can also remember that we prepared a tea for him, and he said, I don't need it. And I think especially, that was the moment when I said that the word broadcasting, that you can also see in my company's name, Live Broadcasting Rocks. I actually explained why I took the name, and that he actually affirmed me that it's the right thing. That was the right thing. I always thought live streaming, it's a little bit like only the technology, and everybody talks about live streaming. And I thought, it's a little bit like, but actually you curate your thing. You want to reach out as your own television, radio station, right? So you broadcast it. And that also includes to have the right energy, the right, like the thing that you care about. And so when I heard, like, Dr. Joe Dispenza then also using the word, look, that you broadcast your energy, like your thoughts create your energy, and that broadcasts out, then I thought, wow, that is exactly what I meant. It really affirmed me, because it's not only the technical thing, like you have like the cable and whatever, it's your energy that counts, and that magnetizes in a way, right?
So I just want to make sure that those watching who have any questions, please feel free to use the comments field. Daniel and I will do our best to answer all your questions while we're here live.
Absolutely.
So your microphone is actually breaking up a bit. I don't know if it's
my microphone. Okay.
Yeah, it's breaking up a bit. So I will go on to the next slide. Wonder if I can do it like.
Yes. Okay.
Let's see. If I do like this, do we see the next picture? No, we don't. Then I have to stop sharing and share again. Okay. Share screen. So we will take a look at this photo. So this is during the interview, and I had prepared. I hold the cards with my prepared questions, but after the couple of first questions, I realized I'm not taking part of this conversation that is happening if I should stick to my cards. So mentally, I just threw them away. And I really just dove into the conversation. And it was a privilege to have this hour-long conversation with one of the world's most renowned teachers in his field. What a capacity. What a tremendous vessel of wisdom this man is.
Yeah, how did you feel, Irina?
You know, it just felt, if I should sum it up in one word, I would have to say presence. There are very few people where I felt so present with as Dr. Joe. And I also think because his energy really is where his attention is. You know, when you meet someone and they're like, and they're actually mentally reaching for their cell phones while they're talking to you, right? You can feel that distance when people are not fully there. But I definitely felt that he was very, very much present in the moment. Yeah. So I would have to say the feeling that sits with me after this meeting would be presence. And I also wanted to share the same scene, but from a bit of a different angle, because here we see more, what should I call it, your end of it. This is just a very little part of the setup. Maybe you want to tell us a little bit about the technical things that went into this podcast.
Yes, and it's interesting because as we were just saying, I hope you can hear me well, you can see me well again.
Yeah.
Because I was just trying to figure out if there was a connection issue or so. So
your sound is now perfect.
No, my sound is not perfect. Okay. So
yeah, it is perfect.
Oh, that's great. So yeah, what you can see here is, so the idea is always that how do you maintain the energy of a situation, of a moment, and how are you able to broadcast that out? That is with as little as interference as possible, and as lightly, and as I would also say really well, with low friction as possible. So what I'm always doing is I'm taking cameras, I'm trying to make a setup that is really non-interfering with the situation. So I'm also going into an event, for example, and then I'm filming it from several perspectives. And here, normally at the event, I'm streaming it live. So what we did here, we just recorded it, so it made it easier. So we just have the cameras, 3 of them, just to make sure.
No, we had, Daniel, we had 4 cameras.
Yes, we had 5 actually. So I just want to say, you just see, yes, I just wanted to make sure that we get the max. Thank you now also to the editor who did a fantastic job in bringing everything together. That's sometimes also a little bit a challenge. And but the idea, especially when I would say when we would have, it would have been the same thing if we were streaming it live. So I could have just connected the laptop on with the internet, and then so I could have switched to the right camera perspective. I even had the time to also make some photos, some still photos with a bigger SLR camera. That was helpful, of course. Yeah, what I had that moment when everything was running, and of course I'm always relieved that everything is running well. You can never say there was never anything that didn't work well, but I really laid back and I thought, let's now realize the moment, how is everything. And I just realized, wow, we are in a way not saying this in a way to look up or down, but we are all normal people, humans in this room, sitting next to each other, 2 meters, 1 meter away. And that made me so humble, saying that, okay, so this person here that is currently having such a strong impact to so many thousands, millions of people. And so what can I do? So I think that really was so inspirational. And thanks for having me, Irina.
No, but again, I think all of us, I'm not saying those of us who broadcast or anything, or public or podcasts or anything, but all of us are carrying a message, and all of us are carrying some energy, and we are sending out broadcasting frequencies like we've talked about. So if I take better care of myself, I'm more able to be present and take better care of all the people around me. That is when the three of us were sitting in the room. I didn't need to worry about the thing. I know you were handling yourself and everything you needed to take over there. Dr. Joe obviously felt calm and relaxed, and that he knew that he was together with competent people taking care of everything that we need to take care of. And I could just relax knowing that Dr. Joe could take care of himself. And, so I think that's also like a bigger lesson. So whoever you are, whoever you meet in life, just like know that, like you said, everyone is normal people, and we can just meet each other as humans, like having that experience, sharing that moment. So I wanted to share one last photo, of course, also this being the launch week of this amazing book.
Oh, yes.
Maybe, let's see, here it is. This was before the book was actually published, so I just had made a cardboard version of the cover, and that's also the story behind the story, that my suitcase, of course, was lost on my way to Basel. And I said to Dr. Joe, I know that this suitcase will be on our doorstep before this interview is over. 10 minutes before the interview was finished, the housekeeping, the doorman, the doorbell, what do you call him, came up and delivered the suitcase where I had the gift for Dr. Joe and also this book cover. So thankfully, it came just in time.
I didn't know that the book cover was in there. Oh, that's amazing. This is amazing. Yeah, it's great.
It was.
And so there were so many, like in hindsight, you see the little pearls on the big, on this big chain to serendipity. And I also wanted to just say that, so like going to this whole retreat where we both met, so that was kind of real sacrifice in terms of time and resources, and so I was really under pressure, and I thought, this is so now I have to, like, I'm starting my new business and I have to now make it work and better work, and it has to so what's the right answer? And I met this person who basically goes to every event from Dr. Joe. He's basically following him around the globe, I guess, at least in the Americans. And he said, well, every time I am going into a retreat, my business runs better. And I thought, okay, so let's hope. Okay. And so when I came back, it was a real kind of tough time. So where I had to make a lot of decisions and make it work. And into this, there was like one gig that I did in Basel in Switzerland. And I thought, oh, it's such a beautiful city. I didn't really have the time, but I did it anyways. I made a reel for TikTok. And it was really coming out well, beautiful summer day. And I don't know why, but you called a little bit later, and I just felt of sharing it with you. And Irina, you said then, oh, wonderful. I didn't know that you are in Switzerland at all. And so Basel, a beautiful city. And here everything kind of unfolded, right? And I would really say with a big, big, grateful heart, dear Irina. So this is like the best thing. This is like the pinnacle of what I have done so far. I was so grateful to serve the cause and also help you recording this interview, because this is, first, you are an amazing journalist. You're an amazing, every question was like you prepared it for so long. I really was so impressed, Irina. But like also to be able to serve such a high value situation, really, with a master like Dr. Joe. That was amazing, and I'm feeling so grateful for it. And so in hindsight, this was maybe the thing that I looked for. Okay, what can happen for my business? And I'm so grateful for having had this opportunity for whatever comes now, but it was working out. We were able to make it work. Irina, thanks so much.
Vielen Dank, Daniel. Wirklich. And now I start speaking German to you. I'm sorry about that. And it's, the gratitude is reciprocal, because, and that is also, I just made I shot a video just before going live today about gratitude being the ultimate state of receivership. And this is something Dr. Joe has learned us. If we really can tune into gratitude, there is no limit to what we can receive. If I start like, oh, why does Daniel get to get that? Why does Irina get to do that? Why can't I? Like envy or misery or bitterness, that is not really in a state where you can receive anything. But what you just shared, Daniel, and which gives me goosebumps thinking about it, is that gratitude is also contagious. So the moment you start sharing about their experiences of this year that you're grateful for, I immediately start thinking about, what am I grateful for in my life? What has happened this year that I'm grateful for? And I would invite everyone. I can see that there are also several people watching us live. Per has joined us from Arendal. Fantastic to see you again, Per. And we also has one who says here, this is visdom på praktiske føtter, like wisdom in practicality, the talk in a way. And I really invite all of you watching, either now, live, or later in the recording, just take a moment and just please feel free to share in the comment also, what are you grateful for that has happened in 2023? What travels are you happy for? What people that you have met? What corporations or like samarbeid? What the people you have worked together with? What the things you have created together? What makes your heart sing? But just take a moment and just reflect on it. I think that's the most beautiful thing we can do every single day. So Daniel, I have also included the link here in the comments field, especially then for our Norwegian audience. I had no clue that this was going to be available in LinkedIn and on your YouTube as well, but that's amazing. If anyone of the international guests would like the Norwegian copy of the Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, maybe there are some collectors out there who want to have Dr. Joe in all the 45 languages that he's been published to. Norway is now language number 46, and it's a fantastic honor to be in that list of that international library where his wisdom is now available. And also for the Norwegian audience, I have shared this also previously this week. If you buy the book and send me the receipt by sending it to my email, I have included the email, you actually get access to the online course that I made this fall with my introduction to Dr. Joe's work. So I made like an introductory course to his meditations that has a value of like 1,111 kroners, which would equal 100 euros, which is a free gift if you buy the book this month. So just buy the book, send me the receipt, and I will invite you to the group. So Daniel, before we part ways, anything you want to share? Like, what habit do you want to leave behind in 2023? Or what habit do you want to build in 2024? Let's go there.
Oh my! So I recently heard that four big blocks that hold you back. So worry, doubt, fear, not good enough-ness. I like that a lot. That thing like it's not good enough, and so it has to be better. So basically, I think as we always want to make it perfect. We always want to be the best, and we're not being like compromised and having to maybe also to say, oh, I did a mistake here or there. Yes, I think when I look for me, so I think that is something where I often take more time than is actually needed and what is also expected in a way. And so that holds my energy also back for a long time to the people that really need it. And so this is what I would also say and could participate in the idea of going live as we are doing it right now, Irina. So this is the way to let go of these ideas of it has to be perfect. I have to make a rehearsal, because none of us really had the time to prepare this great video that we are doing, and still it's perfect, and we're here with you, and so you're participating with us. We are all together sharing the moment. And so I would just invite you trying out this habit of being jumping into the live moment more often, because it prepares you. It's like swimming, you have to then crawl to the other side. The next time you're faster, the next time it's even a longer distance, and so you're free of this not good enoughness.
I love that. And I can also see Heike has taken our invitation to share her gratitude. Dankbar für mein Enkelkind. Das ist wunderschön, Heike. Nochmals vielen glückliches, wie heißt das? Gratulerer. Totally language confused by now. Okay, amazing. Daniel, to everyone watching, this was an amazing half an hour. I was so glad we made this happen. And thanks again. On Sunday, the rest of the world can watch this podcast interview. So to be continued.
Oh, looking forward. Thank you. Tack.
Danke. Auf Wiedersehen.
Everybody have a great day. Great start into the new year. It was a pleasure, Irina. Thanks.
Danke.